Hi everyone, this is Jello. Welcome back. Today's video we're going to cover a map you've already made with the terrain and tokens in place, and we're going to be looking at some of the options you have as a game master to use the GM Info Overlay, which is found here, and the token settings, which is found by selecting any token and hitting the little gear. Now, as we're working with our map, sometimes some other things on the screen get in the way. So to turn off certain things like your macro bar, you'd go to your gear in the top right. And if your chat bar is in the way, you can hit this little button here to get rid of it or get it back. I'm going to zoom out and show you the entire cavern. Now I have Fog of War turned off for this exercise, so you can see all of the monsters I have set up. I've got ogres, hellhounds, mephits, elementals, all of the above. You'll notice that my ogres have a small yellow box around each of them. This is an aura setting in your tokens. You can set it here for any size. They can have multiple sizes, and you can make it square or round, depending on what your situation calls for. You can also select whether or not your characters can see that aura. This works really well with spells like Light, or things where protection only works at a certain distance. Now, 3 of my ogres are regular bruisers, but this guy here is an ogre mage. I have it set up in this encounter so that when my PCs attack this ogre, these two will hear the commotion, come out, and come to the rescue. Now I have some hellhounds here that I'm trying to select, but I can't. That's because I've put them on the GM Info Overlay. Now I can select them, but I can't select this guy. Because they're on the GM Info Overlay, only you as the GM can see it. That means at any time, you can move things between the layers by selecting it and right-clicking it. And I can move them to the token layer as soon as this ogre mage summons them into combat. The change will take place in real time, and your players may suddenly find themselves surrounded by reinforcements. This is a small but useful trick using the Roll20 system. I have most of these monsters on my GM overlay because of the conditions of why the adventurers are coming into this cavern. I have also added some notes to myself on the GM overlay, so we are still selected. This one here says trigger the elemental when they touch the book. I have a small book here, and you can write those at any time. Just go into your overlay and then click on the eye, add text. You'll have font, size, and color options, so make sure it's something you can still see against the backdrop. This is a great reminder for those small things that you might not remember at the time. Another trick I've used with a lot of my tokens is when you go into the token edit screen, you've got their name here where you can tie them to something in a journal. You can show nameplate and name what it is, who controls it. I've got the hit points here so I can keep track of it. The aura, because it's large. And advanced, I have it so they can see the hit point bar but not the numbers. One thing most DMs overlook, though, is the GM notes. These are only visible to you, and here I have the stats. I have it set up so just clicking on the stats will take me here. Large fire elemental. It saves me time from running back and forth trying to find everything in my books. I click the button, I have the stats, I'm ready to go for the fight. These are just a couple options and tips to use with your Roll20 system. Remember that there are lots more options, and if you have any questions about any of the options for Roll20, how to set things up, or other questions, just let me know. Feel free to comment below, and I hope you keep rolling 20s.